Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Saturday, March 25, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Indiana Pacers vs Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks will have the rest advantage and be playing on their home court here, which will be an edge in their favor. It isn't out of the question that Atlanta could sneak into the 6th spot in the East, and they'll be playing to hold on to their 8th spot nonetheless. The Pacers have been dead eyes from long range, but we've seen the Hawks defend smother the perimeter and not allow clean looks from distance. Not to mention the Pacers are prone to giving up a high number of assists, and the Hawks should have arguably one of the best distributors in the league in Young. Take the Hawks at home here. Atlanta minus 4.5 points. This contest will feature two teams that are both top 10 in terms of pace, and the Hawks have played their fastest basketball on their home turf. Atlanta leads the league in made field goals per game and simply doesn't turn the ball over, while the Pacers have been out of position frequently and have the propensity to give up a high number of fouls. Meanwhile, Atlanta is 4th in free throw percentage. The Pacers have been lethal from distance and shoot the ball from long range as much as anyone in the NBA. Any turnovers the Pacers force here should result in quick points as well, with the Hawks lagging in transition, while Indiana sets the pace for the rest of the league in offensive transition. The play is the over, which is 9-1 in the last 10 between these two. Over 237.5 points. Brooklyn Nets vs Miami Heat. Brooklyn is trending in the wrong direction with 5 straight losses on the books heading into this contest. Their failure to close out the Cavaliers Thursday night was particularly galling as they were outscored 12-2 over the final 2:13 of the game, blowing an 8-point lead in the process. While Brooklyn has won 3 straight meetings between these teams, this isn't the same Nets team that we saw the last couple of seasons. Miami has righted the ship after hovering around the .500 mark all year long, and they have pushed into the final guaranteed playoff spot. Butler showed that he can carry his team in crunch time of pivotal games, as we saw in the win over the Knicks. Look for him to turn in a similar performance and lead Miami to a home win. Our team pick is Miami Heat minus 5.5 points. The under also makes a lot of sense in this spot. Obviously with the trades they made, Brooklyn's offensive ceiling got a lot lower. Bridges has been great, but the team's next 2 top scorers right now are Spencer Dinwiddie and Cam Johnson. Dinwiddie is shooting below 30% from deep since he was acquired, and Johnson's shooting numbers have also dipped significantly. Miami plays in a ton of ugly games, and they embrace it as part of their identity. They are giving up only 109.7 points per game, which is the second best mark in the NBA. Brooklyn on the other hand has failed to crack 110 in 4 of their past 5 games. Miami has the physicality required to match up with the Nets' wings, and this one has defensive struggle written all over it. Our total pick under 222 points. Milwaukee Bucks vs Denver Nuggets. While this game is not necessarily critical to either team with both in a great position to earn the number 1 seed in their respective conferences, the Nuggets would appear to have more motivation. Denver comes in well rested after a recent road trip and the healthier of the two teams. Milwaukee is in the second game of a 4-game trip, the final road trip of the season. The Bucks come in after playing in Utah on Friday night and, while they have been excellent this season in back-to-backs with a 9-1 record, staying healthy here will be more of a premium than getting the win. Denver, meanwhile, is 36 at home and 11 games over .500 at home. ATS Denver has won 3 out of its last 4 games after suffering through a 4-game losing streak. The Nuggets are also 3-1 at TS in that time. Our team pick is Denver minus 2.5 points. The Denver Nuggets come into this game with the top record in the Western Conference and a comfortable 3-game cushion with just 10 games to play. Denver now has a chance to measure up against the best from the Eastern Conference in this matchup. The Nuggets have been off since Wednesday night when they upended the Wizards 118-104 on the road after a sloppy first half led to a halftime speech from one of their stars. Jamal Murray, who finished with 17 points, fired up his teammates at halftime, and the team responded. MVP candidate Nikola Jokic led the way with 31 points and 12 rebounds and acknowledged that Murray's words had an impact. Our total pick is over. Philadelphia 76ers vs Phoenix Suns. Without Kevin Durant, the Suns have struggled in the past few weeks. They cannot defend and they only have Devin Booker to score the ball for them. The 76ers are coming off of a solid game against Golden State where they should have won, but they may be returning James Harden in this game. The Suns' recent play have me selling this team and buying the 76ers because Philadelphia has been playing well over the course of the past 10 games. Take Philly to cover on the road. With both teams playing a back-to-back, it makes me interested in the over because defense will be limited with laziness and depth issues. The over is the play in this game as players will get inside the lane and to the free throw line all night. Take the over on Saturday. Utah Jazz vs Sacramento Kings. When they met on Monday in Utah, it was the Kings as -7 favorites, but the Jazz win gave the underdog a 3-0 ATS record in the series this season. The Jazz are 21-14-1 ATS on the road this season, while Sacramento is 17-18-1 ATS at home. Sacramento is chilling currently, locked into that third slot in the West, 5 games up on the next team in the standings with 10 to play. Not that they are shutting down by any means, but desperation is not part of their equation where it is for Utah. This game marks a run of 4 of 5 Utah games on the road, and of their final 10 games, only 2 are against teams currently not in playoff spots. The Kings' offense has been under their season averages lately, which should present a prime opportunity for Utah to take advantage. I'm not 100% sure they come into Sacramento and pull off a win, but the Jazz have a lot at stake and will scrape and claw until the final whistle. They will keep things close. Utah is 3-1-1 ATS in the last 5 and 7-2-1 ATS in their last 10 meetings with the Kings. Take the Jazz. These teams sit in the top half of the league in pace, with dunksandthrees.com ranking Utah 12th and Sacramento just above in 11th. They combined to score 248 points earlier in the week, and their 3-game average this season is a combined 243.7 points per game. The under is 2-1 in their 3 games this year and 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. Even with the Kings scoring down, they are still averaging over 117 points per game. They have scored 120 or more points in 7 of their last 10 games. The Jazz have scored 115 or more in 8 straight games. On the year, these two teams have had a combined 78 games go over this season, as one would expect with 2 of the highest scoring offenses in the league. The over is 8-0-1 in Utah's last 9 and 5-2 in Sacramento's last 7. Take the over. New Orleans Pelicans vs Los Angeles Clippers. The victory over Oklahoma City was an impressive one, especially considering that the team was missing Paul George, but still found a way to dominate the contest. George will still be out for this game, but if Leonard continues to shoot as he has recently, this team should be fine. Leonard is averaging nearly 30 points per game over his last 5 contests, and he is the kind of player who can carry a team. The Pelicans are struggling on the road in recent weeks. They are just 12-24 away from Louisiana this year. It is true that the team is on a 3-game winning streak, but 2 of those victories came at home, where this team is much better. New Orleans is 3-9 ATS in their last 12 road games and 3-7 ATS in their last 10. Los Angeles is 5-2 ATS in their last 7. Our team pick is Los Angeles Clippers at -5 points. 2 top 12 teams in defensive efficiency, the fact that either side hasn't allowed more than 107 against in any of their past 3 respective games, and the playoff implications for both sides involved in this game, has me only looking one way at this total, under. Yes, I've talked at length at how the Pelicans' current win streak means nothing and should basically be ignored, so the same holds true for the defensive numbers they put up in those contests for the most part as well. But those solid defensive performances weren't a one-off for this Pelicans team that's been decent on that end of the floor all year long. I mean, if you're going to talk up the Clippers' defense to their strengths, the fact that LAC allows 112.3 points game and New Orleans allows 112.8 points game puts the Pelicans right in that similar conversation, if you're going to be fair. From the Clippers' perspective, the fact that they are 9-19 OU this year when priced as a home favorite speaks volumes about having even more support for this underplay. Law is never interested in playing track meet style of games at home when they are expected to win, because in those games, the Clippers' edge why they are favored is going to come from their star talent and their ability to execute in the half court on both ends of the floor. No need to look for open transition buckets every possession and in turn give them up every other possession. So it's going under this total for me, as I expect the Clippers to control the pace, and if they blow the game wide open and have to sit on the ball in the final 12 minutes, I'll gladly take my chances with an under ticket. Our total pick is under.